The phone rang just past midnight. "Sir, this is hospital security," the voice said quietly. "Your wife's been brought in. Someone pushed her down the stairs. She's losing the baby." For a moment, the world just stopped. The words didn't make sense. Pushed stairs, baby? When I reached the hospital, the air smelled like disinfectant and metal. A nurse stopped me outside the operating room, her hands trembling. "She said something before surgery," she whispered. It was about her first husband. Her first husband, the one who'd been dead for 5 years. Or so she told me. An hour later, Emily was gone. The doctor's voice faded into static. Internal bleeding, trauma, too much loss. I didn't answer. I just stared at her hand. The wedding ring I'd given her was missing. Her phone sat cracked and glowing on the tray beside her. I picked it up. The last message on the screen made my blood run cold. "You said he'd never find out. Now look what you made me do." Oh. The timestamp, 30 minutes before she fell. I sat in my car in the hospital parking lot, phone in hand, heart pounding like a slow drum. I wanted to scream, but another part of me, the colder one, began to plan. For 3 days I moved like a shadow. I smiled through condolences, shook hands at the funeral, buried a woman I no longer recognized. Then, at night, I went through her phone, every message, every photo, every code. It wasn't just an affair. It was coordination. Money transfers. Offshore accounts. Months of communication with M. And in her search history, how to fake a death, new identity laws, witness protection loopholes. My stomach turned. She knew he was alive. Maybe she even helped him stay that way. I called an old army friend, a private investigator who owed me a few favors. I gave him one name, Mark Deo, her dead husband. Within 2 days he sent me proof. Mark wasn't dead. He was living in another state under a new name, running a small construction company, remarried, on paper, to no one. And every few weeks, money from Emily's account ended up in his. The police report called her fall a domestic dispute gone wrong. They didn't dig deeper. They never do when the dead can't speak. But I could. A nurse remembered a man shouting that night, furious, desperate. He'd left moments before security arrived. Mark. So yes, he'd been there. He'd pushed her. But why show up after years in hiding? Why risk everything? Unless he wasn't hiding anymore. On the 4th night, I drove to his city. Checked into a motel across from his apartment. Watched him through rain-streaked glass. He looked older, softer, like a man who believed he'd escaped his past. I didn't confront him. Not yet. The next morning, I tracked down his landlord. Pretended to be a cousin. Slipped him $100 for the mailbox key. Inside there was one envelope. The edges worn, my wife's handwriting clear. "You promised no one would get hurt. He loves me. Please stop. Let me go." Dated the same day she died. She tried to leave him. He hadn't let her. That night, I parked across the street again. Watched him pacing inside his apartment, drinking, talking on the phone, alive, unbothered. I didn't want to kill him. Death would have been too kind. I wanted truth. I wanted the world to see the monster he was. So I built a case. Collected every piece of evidence. The messages, the transfers, the letter, even the hospital footage of him outside the ER, whispering into his phone. She fell. I didn't mean it like that. That was enough. I sent it all to the district attorney. No name, no threats, just proof. 3 days later, they arrested him. Manslaughter. Fraud. Identity theft. His mugshot hit every channel, orange jumpsuit, hollow eyes. The news called him a man who faked his death to escape debt and ended up destroying 2 lives. I didn't smile. I didn't celebrate. I just turned off the TV and sat in the dark. It's been 6 months. I still carry the ultrasound photo in my wallet, not for love but as a reminder. Love can hide lies deep enough to look real. Sometimes I visit her grave. No flowers. No words. Just silence. She lied. She helped him. But in the end, she tried to stop him. That was her last truth. Her final confession. And maybe that's why I don't feel hate anymore, just quiet. The kind that follows when a mission is finally over. Because justice doesn't always scream. Sometimes it whispers. And when the truth finally speaks, it doesn't need an audience. Just someone willing to listen. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Cheating Stories Insight World for more powerful stories.